Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we're back on World of Warships Legends. This time we're going over my top 5 favorite battleships in World of Warships Legends. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to be going over my favorite battleships, top 5 of them that I've put together in a little list for you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into why these 5 battleships are my favorite battleships. So I hope you all do enjoy. Not too long ago, we did a video going over my top 5 favorite destroyers. So now we're moving on to the big guns, and well, we might continue this and continue to cover all different class types and which ships within those class types are my favorite. So without further ado, and with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump on to the number 5 spot. The first spot on the list has to go to none other than the Tier 5 British premium battleship, Warspite. Okay, Warspite is one of my favorite battleships in the game. Of course, when it decides to work, it is amazing. When the guns decide to work, which they usually do, this ship is one of the most powerful Tier 5 battleships at the tier. It's just ridiculous what its potential is. Now, another battleship that's the same class is the Queen Elizabeth. Actually, the Queen Elizabeth is the lead ship of her class. I do love the Queen Elizabeth too, but I prefer the Warspite. And the reason why I prefer the Warspite is, well, just the guns. They feel more punchier. I don't know. I seem to really just have insane results with this thing. But the difference between both of them is the Queen Elizabeth has shorter fuse armor piercing, and the Warspite has regular armor piercing. So the Warspite is able to penetrate more and citadel things more often. However, the Queen Elizabeth, if I know I'm going to be in like a cruiser game, I'm definitely going to play Queen Elizabeth, because Queen Elizabeth has short fused AP, which means it has a less likelier chance of overpenning cruisers, especially. And we all know how many crunchy cruisers there are at Tier 4, 5, and even 6. So Queen Elizabeth is a great battleship to play if you're fighting other cruisers. But what usually, if I like to be in the Warspite, because I'm usually fighting battleships and I like to smack the shit out of them. And honestly, both of them can do it really easily. So either way, I don't think you're taking a bad ship out if you play either of them. So yeah, Queen Elizabeth, Warspite, two of my most, probably my I would say my most played British battleships are probably the Queen Elizabeth and the Warspite. So let me go over to why also the guns are so good. So these are the classic 381 millimeter 15-inch guns, and they are absolutely fantastic. When they decide to work, of course. I mean, again, battleships at the end of the day are floating slot machines, so really, if RNG's not working with you, you're going to have a bad time. But when it decides to, yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so the guns are amazing. They just are. Survivability is pretty decent too. 53,000 health. I mean, it's pretty average, honestly. It's not really decent. It's just average. AA is pretty average. The maneuverability's on the lower end. Not very good, but hey, you're not worried about the maneuverability and stuff with this. You're just wanting to reach out and touch people, and that's what the Warspite does best. So overall, the armor as well, not the greatest, but again, most battleships at this tier don't have great armor. They're just all, big gun platforms. It's kind of what they were designed to do in real life. But it still has some armor. I mean, 25 millimeters. You can ricochet shells up to 14 inches if they're armor piercing. But the main weakness with these ships is obviously high explosive spam. You're going to get ripped to shreds. Now, another cool thing about the Queen Elizabeths is their citadel is, I almost never get citadeled in these ships. Now, it can happen, especially at longer ranges. But it seems like to me their citadels are just really well protected. So I have no problems just going around smacking people usually and whatnot. The only time I run into issues is when people load high explosive or torpedoes are in the equation. Then this thing gets absolutely crapped on, especially in carrier games. So with that out of the way, that's my top 5 pick there. The Queen Elizabeth / the Warspite. Two really awesome ships. I absolutely love them. Now moving on to my number 4 pick on my top 5 list of favorite battleships. That has to be none other than the Tier 5 Japanese premium battleship, the Hyuga. If I had to pick a ship to play all the time, mainly a battleship to play all the time at Tier 5, right? If there's no carriers involved, I have to pick the Hyuga over everything. even over the Queen Elizabeth and the Warspite. And the main reason why, it's just absolutely cracked, okay? Hyuga is just amazing, and I'm going to go over why it's amazing. So, number one, I mean, as you guys can see, it's got guns everywhere. It's got 12 14-inch guns in total. I can't even speak right now. So yeah, you've got 12 14-inch guns on the Hyuga. You got 2 off the bow, you got 2 in the middle, and you got 2 in the back. And I'm talking about turrets. You got 2 everywhere, 4 guns on each section. So really nice. You got 4, 8, and 12. Lots of firepower with this thing. The gun firing angles are not bad either. So overall, I mean, you got a lot of firepower. You got a pretty heavy broadside, okay, in terms of just the amount of shells and steel that you can fling out there. And on top of that, on my build, I've got pretty decent reload. And when you combine that and quintuple that with main battery reload boosters, that's right, this thing has a main battery reload booster, 2 of them actually on my build. It makes for some absolutely crazy shit that you guys can potentially pull off. And also you combine that with spotters and everything else. It's just, wow. Also, the health is pretty damn good. 60,000 health for a tier 5 is pretty decent. That's like tier 6, tier 7 health pool. And the torpedo protection also is pretty good as well. 34%, which is pretty good for like a Japanese battleship. That's pretty insane. Obviously, you got those 12 356 millimeter 14-inch guns. Amazing. I mean, they smack broadsides like it's out of style. I've had my most insane tier 5 games have probably been with the Hyuga. Like if I go look at my statistics here for my standard battles, yeah, my most damage ever was 221,000 damage with a tier 5. Also, my most kills with the ship was 6 in one game, and my max XP was nearly 4K base. So, and also I've got a 60 to 100% win rate with this ship. So, I would say, yeah, this is probably my favorite tier 5 battleship for the tier. It's amazing. I love it. And overall, I think it's just great. It's got good guns. It's got decent firing angles. It's got also pretty good armor as well. Like, it's got 26 millimeters of bow, stern armor. It's also got a pretty good belt, as you guys can see, so you can do the dreadnought shuffle, get your guns off, and turn back into angle, kind of like this. Bait them to hit your belt, and you're pretty much, you know, good to go. The Citadel is pretty well protected. I don't get Citadeled often with the ship. Now, if you're just going to sail broadside like a dummy, then you will obviously get touched. You will have a bad time. But again, if you just get your guns off, go like this, boom, get them all off, and turn back into angle, you're going to be fine. You're almost never going to get Citadeled. And again, one of the major downsides with this is obviously torpedoes in HE, okay? If you get a good cruiser on the enemy team that knows what he's doing, and if he knows how to dodge and whatnot, you're going to have a bad day, because you're probably not going to be able to do much to him. He's just going to be able to set you on fire over and over again and again. So, with that out of the way, that's my number 4 pick on this top 5 list of my favorite battleships, the Hyuga. Absolutely love it. And anyway, moving on to my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick on the list. Now, it's a debate. It's a toss-up here. But honestly, I don't think it is. I would probably say the Nelson. The Nelson's probably my top 3 most favorite. It's just, I love it. Nelson is amazing. It's hard to pick because there's so many fun battleships out there, but I would say Nelson is. Now, a good honorable mention here for Tier 6 also, Duke of York. I love playing the British battleships. Honestly, they're my favorite battleships at Tier 6. The British BBs are just great. And I'm going to go over why, though. The Nelson is my favorite Tier 6 battleship, and my third most favorite battleship overall. So, the thing that makes Nelson so good is obviously these guns. You got 406 millimeter guns, and the thing that makes them so disgusting is the fire chance on these guns. This thing can absolutely destroy people with the high explosive. The HE is retarded. Okay, 46% fire chance, 6,900 maximum HE shell damage. This shit is gross. I've had some insane games with the Nelson. Okay, the things that you can potentially do with this ship is just beyond crack fuel, okay? And also, you have pretty good AP, too. Like, if you need to smack cruisers, you can. I believe the Nelson has shorter fused armor piercing. I could be wrong, but I think she does. People can go in the comments and correct me there, of course, but Yeah, Nelson's guns, just mwah, absolutely beautiful. And that's the thing with most of my battleships. That's what I look for with battleships, by the way, is consistency and overall gun power. If the battleships can smack things consistently and do really well for me, they're going to be my favorites. I mean, I absolutely love battleships that can just ruin people. And I've had that happen a lot in Nelson. Now, another good thing about Nelson that you have is the super heals. HP per second, 1283. Yeah. I have 4 of them on my build. I don't have Azur Lane Nelson, so before people start going in the comments saying, Ghost, you should use or you should get Azur Lane Nelson, blah 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 blah. I don't have her, so I use John Fisher because he gives me extra heals and whatnot and blah 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 blah. And he still retains accuracy and whatnot and gun power, so I like him. He's pretty good right now. I have no problems with it. Yeah, that's really about it with the Nelson. There's some downsides, though. Okay, you got amazing guns, and obviously you can fire them all off the bow because, you know, you got 9 of them. And you can basically turn out like this, get all your guns off, turn back in, and bait people to hit your belt. And overall, nasty potential with this ship. If I go look at the armor, this is one of the major downsides, is the bow armor is only 25. And you have a super exposed citadel. So if you ever get caught broadside by anything with big guns, you're going to get absolutely destroyed, okay? And I've done it to other people, too, plenty in Nelsons. Like, even with Nelson, I've done Nelson on Nelson hate crimes with this thing. It has a huge exposed citadel. Even if you angle, there's a chance you're going to get absolutely nuked, especially direct through your bow. Like, anything with big guns, so anything that has 15-inch guns or bigger will have absolutely zero problem overmatching your bow and citadeling you over and over again. That's one of the major downsides, but if you're not the center of attention, if you're positioning well, and you're utilizing these guns, you should have not many issues. And it has a really good belt. So, again, if you can bait people to shoot your broadside and then kind of angle in last second, you can potentially ricochet a bunch of shells. I've done it plenty. I've really almost never been dev struck with this thing. I tend to do pretty well with it. So, overall, Nelson, my number 3 pick on this top 5 list. Nelson, amazing. I would recommend it to anybody who wants a tier 6 premium battleship. It's great. I love it. Just absolutely perfect. And yeah, is that about it? I think that's about it. Obviously, there's some other downsides too with it, like the concealment, or not the concealment, the maneuverability, not very good. And overall, like the torpedo protection, you're going to get fucked. If you get torped by things, and if there's carriers in the game, you're not really going to be able to do a whole lot. HE spam, however, that's one of this thing's strengths, believe it or not. If you HE spam a Nelson, you're just going to cause his super heals to go into full effect. So when you're shooting at a Nelson, be careful, because if you just constantly spam HE at it, it's just going to be able to reprint its ship. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times, and I've seen plenty of other Nelsons do it too. Anyway, now moving on to the number 2 pick on my top 5 list of favorite battleships in World of Warships Legends. My number 2 pick has to go to none other than the Tier 7 premium American battleship, the USS Missouri. Yeah, baby. The Missouri. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this ship, okay? It sometimes it works absolute wonders for me, and then other times it's like trash. It gets really annoying. But I think I would say 60% of my games, 70% of my games, somewhere in there, are good games with this ship. And overall, I think the guns are fine. The guns are amazing. It's like 50-50. Every time you shoot these guns, man, I don't know. I get trolled a lot with the Missouri. But overall, I think it's one of my favorite battleships at Tier 7. It's amazing. It has crazy good potential, so long as the guns work for you. And usually they do. But again, I've had some crazy games. Hell, I made videos with these ships. I'm like talking about how the RNG in this game is retarded. And usually I use the Iowas as a prime example because, again, the Iowas in real life, they had amazing modern, just overall modern stuff going for them. They had the best radar, the best fire directors in the world. They had literal fucking computers in their battleships, in the freaking combat information center on these ships. And later they put missiles on them and all sorts of goodies. The Iowas in real life, when they did their firing trials and whatnot, they were able to hit basically anything within like a 500-foot square. These things were insanely accurate. And Again, there wasn't many tests done with the guns, but for example, when the Iowa was deployed in Korea, and when the Missouri was also deployed there, and overall when these ships were going out doing shore bombardment missions, and of course when they actually did shoot at ships, they hit ships with no problem, with really good accuracy. For example, when the USS Iowa encountered the Katori, when it was moving through and moving into the Japanese homelands, the Iowas had no problem just absolutely annihilating everything and anything that it ran across. But in game, it seems like I just have overpen city like 50% of my games and whatnot, when it shouldn't be that way. Man, there is a lot going for these ships IRL, and in game they're just, oh, it's a struggle bus for me. But again, I still have good games with them. Now, let's talk about why, though, it's my number 2 pick. Number 1, the radars. The consumables on this ship are awesome. A battleship with radar is great. It's crazy, by the way. Crazy good radar. 9.5 kilometer ship acquisition range. Pretty damn spicy. And the consumable duration is 35 seconds. So long as you get good accuracy and you spot a DD, you're going to be able to get 2, maybe 3 salvos off on that enemy destroyer if you have a stupid reload build or something going. But on average, you'll be able to get, for sure, 2 salvos off on anything that you have radared. Really nice to have, okay? Obviously, with my build, I have 3 of them. I'm running Hoshino. So I have 3 radars, and I have, of course, 6 heals, which is pretty funny. Moving on to the specs, though. The hit points, pretty average. Nothing special there for a Tier 7 battleship. The torpedo protection is not very good. That's one of the major downsides with the Iowas, is they have horrible torpedo protection. The guns, they're good when they want to be. I'm not going to lie. Like, when these guns actually want to work, they are absolutely disgusting. They have very good potential. But it seems like every game I play in these ships, I just get trolled all the time, man. Man, if only my RNG was so much better, I would have a lot more better games with these ships. But I still love them despite that. So, AA defense, amazing. Absolutely and utterly phenomenal. The AA defense on the Missouri is just, yeah, it's an American battleship, okay? American battleships, Tier 5, Tier 6, and up, usually have good, if not insane, AA. The maneuverability, in terms of agility, not very good. 920 meter turning circle radius, and obviously the Missouri, the Iowa, all of these Iowa-class battleships were extremely long, and because of that, they took a while to turn. So, overall, the Missouri, Iowa, not very good in the agility department. But in terms of speed, however, these are very fast battleships. If you build into it and if you put some inspirations on, you can get your speed out pretty good. Now, it still pisses me off that Wargaming has not made it to where you can have, honestly, no matter what the build is, the Iowa should have a base of 31 or 30 knot speed, no matter what. I know when you run, like, for example, if you put on, when you put on William Sims and you run, for example, what is it? Gyrating drill bits, this decreases your speed. That should not be a thing. Honestly, they should just take that away. They should take the maximum speed shit away for the gyrating drill bits. I hate that shit because it causes the Iowas to go slower. And it causes overall the fast battleships in the whole game to go slower. It's a ridiculous fucking thing. And the Iowas in real life were the fastest battleships in the world. Some of the most insanely fast battleships in the world. I believe they set all sorts of speed records and shit for battleships. Amazingly quick battleships. And they were designed to keep up with carriers, cruisers, destroyers, all that stuff. All of our ships in our Navy were designed to go 32 knots. 32 and a half knots, I believe. So, yeah. So, the concealment, it's average for a battleship. Not really worth covering. Now, the armor's pretty good. And the armor's actually better than the Iowa. There's slightly, I think, better belt protection and whatnot. So overall, armor's really good. Armor's pretty solid. You got 32 millimeters bow and stern. If you take that away, you also got a pretty damn good belt. Again, you got pretty nice protection going there when it comes to your your belt armor and whatnot. So, yeah, man. I think it's just actually a torpedo protection. Funny enough, that's just your torp protection. That's your belt. It acts as your your torp protection and your whatever you call it. Anyway, obviously you got this stuff here. You got your citadel pretty exposed if you're at longer ranges. Now at close range, it's pretty hard to citadel in Iowa. It still can be done. I mean, it has a waterline citadel, but just barely. But it seems like a lot of times at closer ranges, people will shoot at a broadside Iowa and just overpen it because their shells will go too high. The only time you're going to Citadel in Iowa is if it's flat broadside and you catch shells going slightly downwards into its Citadel at the waterline. That's the only way you're going to Citadel these things. So the Citadel protection's pretty good, just because it's lower. It's a lower end Citadel. It's not a very protected Citadel, but it's a lower end Citadel, so that helps it in of itself, right? And obviously, it's a tier 7 premium, so it makes a lot of money. So overall, I do like the Missouri, despite me having like a love-hate relationship with it, okay? Like, I get really, really frustrated with these ships, because, man, they were real-life legends, and in Legends, they're not so. So, I don't know. I like them, but I don't like them at the same time. They drive me crazy. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Moving on to the number 1 pick. A battleship that I do really love. Absolutely enjoy. It's a class that, in my opinion, is the best tier 7 premium, or tier 7 class for the Americans, and that has to be none other than the tier 7 premium battleship, Massachusetts, wherever it is. I think I passed it. Here it is, Massachusetts. The South Dakota class battleships, Massachusetts, Alabama, you know, those two ships are, in my opinion, the best American tier 7 battleships in the game, and I'm going to go over why. I love the Massachusetts. It's actually my most played battleship. I absolutely just, oh my god, where do I start? So, there's literally nothing that is a downside with these battleships. That's number 1. That's the main reason why I love them. They are overall extremely good. Okay? So, let's go over why they're extremely good and why they're overall there's nothing bad with them going. So, number 1, the survivability. Pretty average, pretty damn good. The torpedo protection is best at the tier. 50% torpedo protection is incredible. That's insano. Moving on to the guns. The guns are amazeballs. They're absolutely fantastic, and they are not the 50 caliber overpen machines that are on the Iowas. They are slightly less of a caliber, so therefore the shells will not overpen as much. Now, they are slightly more floaty, and they're slightly more slower, but in my opinion that helps, because it causes shells to drop down, and it almost makes the shells more disgusting. I've had I think my most insane salvos I've ever had in battleships were with the South Dakota class battleships. They are just absolutely amazing. I have nothing but good things to say about the Sodaks in this game. They're awesome. On my build currently, I'm not building into the guns though. I'm building into the secondaries, and that's something you can do with the Massachusetts. You can build into guns and have amazing guns, or you can build into the secondaries and have an amazing secondary build. That's one of the things I absolutely love about the Massachusetts. It's so versatile. Moving on to the anti-aircraft defense. The AA is great. It's an American battleship. It's got great AA. The maneuverability is amazing for a battleship. Amazing in terms of agility, okay? And the speed's pretty good too. 700 meter turning circle radius is pretty damn good for a battleship. That's like heavy cruiser turning circle radius. This thing will turn, man. It's got great maneuverability and great agility overall. There's really nothing bad with these ships. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's consistent. The guns are amazing. And for some reason in this game, the South Dakota class battleships have a better Sigma than the Iowas, which is weird because the Iowas have more modern guns. They have more modern firing directors. They have more modern radars. That's something that's the thing that really irks me, is why does the Iowas not have like a 2.0 Sigma, or like at least a 1.90 Sigma? Oh, I think they do have a 1.9 Sigma. No, they have a 1.8. The Iowas, I believe, have a 1.8 Sigma in this game. I could be wrong. They might have changed it. But last I checked, they have a 1.8 Sigma, which is illegal, in my opinion. Absolutely, utterly illegal. It never made sense to me. And obviously the armor's great too. The armor is just, yeah, it's good. 32 millimeters everywhere. Again, you get exposed to 203 millimeter high explosive spam. That's one thing you got to worry about with the with all battleships really at this tier and at lower tiers. HE spammers are going to be a nightmare, but overall, your torpedo protection and whatnot, your maneuverability, your agility, everything about this ship is amazing. And the Citadel is well below the waterline. See, with the Iowa, it's at the waterline. With the South Dakotas, it's below the waterline. Okay, just barely. If not lower. Yeah, you can see how the water kind of goes a little bit higher than the Citadel. So overall, yeah, Massachusetts, my favorite battleship in the game. I absolutely love it, and honestly, some of my most insane games have been with the Massachusetts. As you guys can see, my statistics here are pretty damn good. 66% win rate. I've had nothing but good, mostly good games with this ship. My maximum ships destroyed 6. My maximum damage was 228,000. My max XP was 3,900, almost 4K base. Man, what else is there to say? Again, the only downside with the Massachusetts and the Alabama is the fact that they are susceptible to HE spam. That's like the only downside I can think. That's it. In every other category, they are great. They have good at least this Massachusetts, it has good secondaries. It's got great guns. It's got good maneuverability. It's got decent speed. It's got good AA. It's got good fucking torpedo protection. What else is there to say? The Massachusetts is just top tier. I love it. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my list of top 5 favorite battleships in World of Warships Legends. I hope you all did enjoy. I will give you guys some honorable mentions, though. The Kansas. Absolutely love the Kansas. This thing has amazing guns. It has good accuracy. It's got 12 16-inch guns. They're just phenomenal. Love this thing as a firing platform. Also, Georgia. I do like the Georgia. I'm not a super fan of it, but I do like playing it. I do occasionally have good games with it. It's got great guns. Big-ass 18-inch guns. Technically 17.9-inch guns. But they're great, especially with Azure Lane, New Jersey. Constellation I'm starting to really enjoy as well. Again, most of these Tier 7 American battleships I really do enjoy. And obviously the Alabama. This is quickly becoming one of my most favorite battleships in the game, too. I love it. Basically, if I ever want to go accuracy, I go play Alabama. If I want to go secondaries, I play Massachusetts. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, be sure to go down there. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Massachusetts, baby. Oh, my God. I love it, man. It's still my favorite battleship in the game. It's amazing. That's the thing. When I look at ships, guys, I look at the statistics. I look at the stats. And when it comes down to it, Massachusetts has some of the best stats for any American battleship in the game. And that right there is why I love it. Overall, it's great. See, with the Iowas, there's downsides with them. There's downsides. The main downsides are the agility. They can't turn very well. The torpedo protection is not very good either. And they're very long. They're very big ships. The South Dakotas, they're compact. They're nice. They're, in my opinion, they're the most perfect design for an American battleship, and they're great in-game. I love them. So, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a great rest of your weeks and weekends. I will catch you all on the next one. See ya.